Alright guys, welcome back to another Fortnite video, and in this one, we are going to be going over a bunch of sort of secret changes in the brand new update. That's right, the recent update, the one that is just before Season 6, and I cannot wait for that big update coming out. You know we're going to be covering some big changes then, but still, even in this update, the update with the new Porta Fortress, which is insane. That thing is an absolute beast, but we have got a bunch of secret changes, ones that I think most of you haven't even noticed. And I'm talking about like some glitches being fixed, some other fun things, and even some things that the cube has been doing that we definitely need to talk about. So overall guys, it will be a very fun video, and if you enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button down below. Always helps me out so much and encourages me to make more of these videos. And on top of that, comment your favorite item in the game, not like weapon, but like special items like the Porta Fortress. For me, I think it might just be the Rift to go. I think that item's like super useful. I love using it, but I'm curious to see what you guys have to say. Now without further ado here, let's jump on into it with the first change that I definitely think you guys need to know. And this one is especially going to be interesting for pro players because they are the ones that generally get affected by stuff like this. But yeah, as you guys know, in one of the recent updates, so this one sort of like went through and then went back. Epic changed their mind on it, but you know that the storm, when it closes in, finishes, it then destroys any structure that's in like the line of the storm so that you can't build sky bases and stuff like that. However, with this recent update, they changed that so that the final few circles no longer destroy those buildings, whether it be a sky base, just, you know, the random stuff that gets built in those final circles. And they didn't say the exact like circle that it starts to happen in, but I'm pretty sure when they say like a few circles, it's probably like the last three, the ones that are super small, where it's kind of pointless for the storm to destroy structures because you can barely even do anything then. So definitely I am interested to see how pro players react to this because it did make those final circles super interesting. And to be fair, most of us probably barely ever even get to this point in game. I know like every solo game I play generally gets finished before we get into those last few circles, so I'm not 100% sure if this will affect like the casual play that much. Again, we need to double check and see which circle it starts to, you know, still keep structures around. But for sure, when you're watching like summer skirmish, other pro events, or just pro players playing in general against other pro players in like scrims, you'll probably be seeing this have an effect. After that one though, this one isn't like a big secret change, or is kind of, you'll see what I mean coming up here, but it has to do with the new Spiky Stadium. And no, I'm not just talking about the Spiky Stadium itself showing up. Obviously, a ton of us knew that was in the game, and if for some reason you didn't, it's in Playground. It makes this gigantic stadium, which is honestly super cool. But no, that's not specifically what I wanted to talk about. Instead, there's something pretty interesting that you can do with the Spiky Stadium, and since it's fun and technically, I guess, a change to the game, thought I might as well include it so you guys can mess around with it yourself in Playgrounds. So yeah, the Spiky Stadium, it usually comes in those red supply drops that show up around the map in Playgrounds only, but there's actually another way to get it and something you can do with the Spiky Stadium. Now, it is tough, but you need to find a blue rarity vending machine because they do have the opportunity to drop these items. But yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't able to find one myself, but I didn't really have that much time to look, but I do know that they do come in these vending machines. So then what can you do with that? Well, you can make absolutely crazy structures and just chuck them all over and even go past the sky barrier. That's right. As you can see right here, I'm building up to the sky barrier, going up, and right there, I cannot build any higher. Now, oddly enough, with the Spiky Stadium, you can actually use it to go higher than this barrier. So you just throw one down at the highest point, and then you'll already have structures above the sky barrier. Now, you probably need to bring like a grappler because, again, you can't build to get even higher up. But like, as you can see here, you grapple up to the top of the Spiky Stadium, throw another one down right there, and you can keep going higher. Now, unfortunately for me, again, I didn't find the vending machine, so I was only able to do this with 3, but you can imagine that you can probably go quite a bit higher with these, and I'm curious to see what exactly the limit is, or if you can hit the top of the skybox or something like that. So yeah, guys, mess around with that. It's definitely a fun thing to try, so I thought you guys would like to hear about it. Keeping it going here with another one. This is actually a bug fix that you may have noticed already if you've been playing the game recently, but just to confirm that it was indeed a bug. Some people thought it was like a change that Epic Games made on purpose to sort of nerf this item, but I'm talking about the mini shields and that random delay they had in the previous update where you would like drink one and then it would take like a second and a half before it would even let you drink the other one, which was such an annoying thing. And Epic didn't really talk about it. They didn't confirm that it was a bug, so some of us were speculating, is this a nerf to minis? Are they trying to make minis less useful because they also had done the change to the big shields where you could carry 3? And reminder, you can still carry 3 big shields. Sometimes I forget that when I'm playing, but yeah, apparently that glitch with the mini shields is now fixed, so you can drink drink them faster than you could in the previous update of the game. And like as you can see here, here is the new mini shields, and it is back to being super fast. In fact, I actually think it is faster than it was like ever. If you remember in the past, at least for me, when I tried to drink 2 mini shields like back to back, sometimes it would do this weird thing where it would glitch out for a split second and then like restart the drinking animation. It was really quick, but I don't think that is in the game anymore. I could be wrong, but either way, the mini shields are now fixed and they are amazing. But keeping it going here with a little one now, this one is it's interesting, and again, it is fairly small, so I still had to include it, but it has to do with the bouncer pads that you can find around the map. Now, how exactly did they change bouncer pads? Well, if you put it on like a wall, like as you can see right here, and this is usually how they get placed because people want to like go off their big structure and like fly across the map. However, the change has to do with the bouncer pad when you view it from behind. So like for example, somebody else places it like as you can see right here, and you decide to run up that ramp and you don't exactly know there's a bouncer pad there. Well, now there's a slight glow that you can view from behind the bouncer pad. So like as you can see right here, it's actually not that bright if it happens to be against like the daytime sky that happens in the map. So you definitely still need to be careful about that, but like as you can see, if you go to a darker part of the map or if it's nighttime, you can really see that glow on the side of it. And again, you can only see it from behind, but it does show up brighter when it's a bit darker out. Now, how exactly could this be useful to you? Well, it is only useful in like select situations, but say you're running up a staircase that the enemy has built. You don't know that there's a bouncer there. Generally, you may like run close to this wall and get flung across, but if you keep in mind that that glow is there, you now should be able to more easily notice the bouncer pad and then not get flung off the map. So that's kind of a interesting change. I don't know if that's good or bad yet, but either way, had to include it in the video because it's a secret little change. But after that, then we have a change for console players, which is absolutely huge. Actually, we've been waiting for this one for probably 6 months, or at least like the beginning of the game ever, because it's something that finally we can get a little bit closer to PC in terms of how quickly the game actually allows you to do things. So you may know where I'm going with this one, but faster editing on console. So before, as you know, when you went to edit a structure, you actually had to hold the button down for quite a while, and it used to be 0.25 seconds or a fourth of a second, which seems fairly short, but when you're trying to edit, it feels like an eternity, especially when PC has an instant edit option. So they actually did change that, and there is still a delay, but it's a lot faster than it was in the past, and it's definitely noticeable and really practically feels instant already. So let's go through the specifics here because there's different things a little bit for like the different options with building. So if you're on old school, it goes from 0.25 seconds down to 0.2 seconds, which really isn't that big of a change. And then with quick builder, it's the same thing from 0.25 seconds to 0.2 seconds, and also even the same with combat pro. Once again, 0.25 to 0.2. However, where it gets even better is with builder pro, because it went down from 0.25 seconds as it was before and as it was with all of them to 0.15, and as you can see, it's like almost instant. It feels so much faster and just it feels really, really good. I'm gonna be completely honest, I haven't had a ton of time to mess around with it or really utilize this new editing, but it feels like as fast as it can get without having an instant edit option. And you do still have to be careful because that button is also used to switch out of build mode, so that's why they have you hold it down. But if they ever decide to, you know, make custom binds, we probably could be seeing like an instant edit option, which hopefully will come into the game soon, because that would probably be the next best thing that controller players need to use. Keeping it going here though with another one. Oh my gosh, I can't actually believe this one happened, and we're probably gonna have to talk about it more once we start to get more information on the cube. That's right, it has to do with the cube. What Kevin the Cube has been doing lately, because oh my goodness, he's been pulling some pranks on us, that is for sure. But if you didn't know, Kevin has been making his way towards Loot Lake, and recently he actually went through Tilted Towers, and against what everybody was predicting, because we honestly did not expect Epic Games to do this at all, it destroyed the brand new building that was just finished and literally took like 2 seasons to finish, had unique assets in it, you know, somebody at Epic Games actually had to design this, and they destroyed it in like what, 2 weeks? I believe it came with the high stakes update, so like yeah, about 2 weeks maybe, but they destroyed the building. That is insane. We really did not think that would be possible, but I mean, look at it. It's gone. It's hilarious that they actually decided to do this. And the rumor going around is that it probably will be like a running joke, that this building will keep getting destroyed and they'll keep trying to rebuild it. And I mean, that's definitely possible because it is literally the only building that the cube decided to destroy. Out of every single building in Tilted, it sought out the brand new building and just crushed it. I'm pretty sure it even went out of its way to do so. So who knows, maybe we'll see like some crazy fortress as they like try to protect it, and then in season 6 it'll get destroyed again. That would honestly be pretty hilarious. But yeah, we're definitely going to have to talk more about the cube. I think I've got a video coming up either tomorrow or the next day. We're waiting for Kevin to do his thing, but he is getting close to Loot Lake, so it's bound to happen soon. So stick around for that. But moving on to the next thing I want to talk about. This one is like really tiny, but even so, thought I might as well include it. But in playgrounds, you now spawn closer to the map when you respawn. So if you get eliminated in playgrounds and you go back up and you skydive down, it's a little bit faster to get to the ground, but also a little bit tougher to move across the map doing so because obviously you're not as high up. And credit to S Swappin for this one. He's the person I saw who like found out about it first. But I mean, hey, it's a little bit of an interesting change, I guess. Something to keep in mind that may make it a little bit easier to play in playgrounds. But yeah, now for the final one. This too is, I guess, a pretty small one. But there's a weird little setting that was added that has to do with like streaming. Generally, it is going to be most useful for streamers. And speaking of which, I actually might be starting to stream soon on Twitch. So we might be using this ourselves, but there is a setting now within the files. You go into it, you go over from video over to the sort of like gear or cog, whatever you want to call it. And then you have this thing under streaming, which says hidden matchmaking delay. And you can set that up to, I believe, 60 seconds. And it sort of like randomly delays your, when you try to get into game. As you can see, it like puts the delay down there. So it is technically searching, but it's not going to let you know when you're searching or when you're actually going to get into a game. So it is pretty useful for streamers. And also, I guess you probably won't be able to stream snipe really much anymore if people have that enabled. So keep that in mind, you stream snipers. But yeah, guys, that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, be sure to subscribe for more videos like this coming out in the near future, especially with season 6. And on top of that, be sure to check out some of my previous videos, such as going through proof and answers on whether or not some of the biggest skins will be returning or not. And then on the right, another fun video I'm sure you'll enjoy. But other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.